Well, as you plan for the day tomorrow, here's some helpful suggestions. Going to have some breeze, especially for the afternoon, so have the hairspray ready to go. Short sleeves, maybe an extra minute or two out the door to account for any fog-related delays. Otherwise, going to be a warm day, as well as with some cloud cover in place. Now, the dense fog advisory that we have for portions of South Louisiana are confined to South Acadiana and over towards southwestern Louisiana. Does not include Metro Baton Rouge, Hammond, or New Orleans, but we'll wait and see when the National Weather Service updates their forecast later tonight if they do start to include some more of our viewing area. But basically, the fog potential should grow day by day from Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday. Thursday probably being the worst of the fog, with it being the most widespread with more pockets of dense fog. For now, though, areas of patchy fog is what we're anticipating. Average visibility between 1 to 3 miles. Now, use those low beam headlights as you head outside, and also watch for those kids at area school bus stops as school's back in session. Temperatures will climb quickly through the morning. Not going to be as chilly out the door. Temperatures dipping down into the 50s early on in the morning, but we're going to top out near 80 degrees tomorrow afternoon with a high temperature forecast of 78 degrees. We'll have those breezy winds around with cloud cover, but those clouds not expected to produce any rainfall. So winds will probably limit the fog potential for tomorrow. You can see sustained winds, maybe upwards of 5 to 10 miles per hour during that morning stretch. But into the afternoon, we're going to see those winds elevate into the teens, and that's sustained winds. So we could see some gusts in the upper teens to low 20 mile per hour range. Notice the primary direction of that wind is going to be out of the southwest. So we're continuing to pump in more and more moisture off the Gulf at the surface layer of the atmosphere, and so that's going to continue to increase the fog threat in the coming days. As of right now, we're kind of in the midst of a weak ridge of high pressure. We've got a trough off towards the west, another trough exiting off towards the east. So for right now, we're dealing more with a continental air mass in the mid and upper levels, what we call zonal flow. So that's going to carry over through much of the rest of this week. But as we get into the weekend, you're going to notice a big dip in the jet stream developing across the western half of the country, and that is going to sweep itself off towards the east. Now, the bitterly cold air bypasses us towards the north, but we're going to see some cooler temperatures as we head into the beginning of next week, and could even be flirting with a brief light freeze for Monday morning of next week. Let's give you some first alert to some thunderstorms in the forecast as we look towards Friday. You can see Friday leading into Saturday is that next opportunity of seeing rain in our forecast. We could see a likely chance of rain Friday, lingering showers in the forecast for Saturday, predominantly early in the day as our next cold front begins to make its way through the area. So let's give you a snapshot of that using Futurecast. Fast forward all the way to Friday morning. Scattered rains around the forecast, becoming a bit more widespread, maybe a bit more energized as we get towards Friday afternoon, evening, and then leading into Saturday morning. Showers and storms kind of roll through ahead of the cold front, behind the front. Maybe some lingering moisture to produce a shower or two, but decreasing rain chances, it looks like, kind of as we make our way through the afternoon and evening hours on Saturday. But behind this front is definitely going to be a big temperature change. Now, the model I just showed you, here's the projection of rainfall. You can see does suggest could see some localized pockets of multiple inches of rain. GFS a bit lower in terms of the rainfall projection. It's showing less than an inch of rainfall across our area. So still some fine details that we have to work out. How much rainfall will we see with this next rainmaker, and could we see maybe a couple of strong to severe storms? All that will be worked out in the coming days. Upper 70s to low 80s. That is the daytime high trend that we're going to be dealing with all the way through the middle of the week into the rest of the work week. Now, showers and storms more likely Friday, probably leading into Saturday morning, and then improving conditions in terms of rainfall. But take a look at that bottoming out in terms of the temperature. So we're going to go from a high of 80, it looks like, on Thursday, to highs only in the mid 50s by the beginning of next week.